It's okay.
Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. I've got our dog right here. So we are ready to go.
Yeah.
Can I be heard? Can you hear me?
Not yet.
How do you know?
Because I'm watching it.
Oh. Can you hear me?
There we go.
All right. Awesome. Okay, good deal. I wasn't sure. Anyways, welcome to tonight's live stream. Hopefully the internet will be much smoother tonight. I ran a wire to our router and reset it and everything, so I think we'll be pretty good. And I've got my lovely wife Elizabeth here with me tonight to moderate my comments and make sure I stay on task and answer all the questions truthfully and honestly. As you can see, we're sitting in the garage here. The FJ is right behind me. Yeah, ready for your questions. I kind of wanted to just touch on right off the bat tonight about August. So Elizabeth is an educator. She teaches at Brigham Young University, Idaho, and August is her month off basically for the whole year. She gets, and the first week of September or so. So the month of August, we're going to take a little vacation next week. We're going to go to Washington and go camping out on the Olympic Peninsula. So just a warning that videos might get a little bit spotty in August, but don't worry, I'm still around. Just enjoying a little bit of time with Elizabeth. So got to do it while I can, because all winter and half the summer she's teaching. So yeah, do what you got to do.
Brody wants to know if I'm going to help finish out the build. No.
No.
I mean, I help with moral support.
Yeah, she helps a lot with just being amazing and around, and that encourages me. But I did have her hold the rear bumper in place last week while I tack welded some things, and she has a pacemaker. And I know you can't weld with a pacemaker, but she was just holding the bumper. But as soon as I started tacking with the welder, she's like, "Oh, I think my pacemaker is doing something."
Yeah, it set off. It interrupted my pacemaker operation. It was pretty crazy.
So
I could feel it.
Probably can't really have her helping me too much, because I'm always slinging the welder around, and there's lots of electrons bouncing all over the place, and that's not good for her. She teaches bassoon. She's a music and other music courses. So
Phil wants to know, are you going to update the logo with the new and improved FJ?
Yeah, I'm going to do some stuff with the logo. I'm going to make some color changes to the FJ. Probably not a full wrap, but just some accent wraps, and probably the logo with some different colors. There's going to be some different colors on the FJ, underneath the FJ.
If you have a vote for a 3-color scheme, share it here.
Yeah, I mean,
so we're looking at basically 3 colors that we could put together on it.
I kind of have an idea where I'm going already.
Yeah, but I'd be curious to see what other people think.
But if you can come up with something that really strikes me, then I'll consider it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to vote for a color scheme, go ahead and shout that out.
Will Stillins, great question. A lot of people ask this. How did you set the height of your cruiser? How did you pick that height?
On the new build, I assume?
I assume.
So basically, I just talked to a few other guys that have a solid axle swapped FJ Cruiser, and I saw where their height was at, and that's pretty much what I went with. So the frame is about 23 inches off the ground. That's what it'll be when I'm done. Right now, it's at about 25. but I'm setting it up there and anticipating when you air down the tires and you have a little bit of weight in the vehicle. But I plan to be at about 23 inches, the bottom of the frame, 23 inches off the ground. And yeah, I just got that from other people who have solid axle swapped FJs before. So
yeah. That Mr. B1 asks, how do you plan on getting the emergency brake on the Sterling to work on the FJ?
yes, the emergency brake, I've thought about that. And the cables, I don't know exactly. It's an automatic, so I can always put it in park. But I haven't really figured that out yet. Hopefully I'll get that figured out.
Z-Man 377. Oh, is that Jerry? Is Z-Man 377
That is Jerry.
Hey, Jerry. Jerry wants to know if I'm insured. Jerry, I am very insured. The question is Ken insured?
What, like health insurance?
Life insurance.
Life insurance?
Any insurance?
There have been very few times where I've been worried about dying driving the FJ. There's been plenty of times where I've thought about the FJ like getting
Talk
killed.
about your scariest off-road trail. We were just discussing this the other day. He really scared himself on.
Oh, the Morrison Jeep Trail on, I think it was turn number 16. Go back and watch that video if you want. But yeah, Morrison Jeep Trail, switchback number 16. It was pretty cut. So there wasn't much ledge to be on, and watching the video is even scarier than it felt in real life. But watching it again is like, holy cow! I could have slid down and rolled, and would have been the end.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I haven't looked at any of the questions. Elizabeth is kind of doing that.
El Jefe wants to know if this is a hardcore build. Yes, Jeff, this is a hardcore build.
Oh, Jeff Greenwood?
Yes.
Oh, I've heard of him. It's mostly going to be for Instagram. No, it's going to be hardcore. It's going to be crazy.
Let's see. Oh, Sal Cruz says he remembers the switchback video. It was super intense through the camera, though the camera couldn't imagine driving it. Yeah. As always, the camera really flattens things out. I'm actually glad I was not on that trip.
Most of the Morrison Jeep Trail's actually pretty tame, pretty easy, not too bad. But that one switchback was insane, really, really bad. Especially since I didn't have anybody with me. And that was really stupid too. But it's really out in the middle of nowhere.
Put out your disclaimer, dear.
Oh, don't go wheeling by yourself. It's very bad.
It's a terrible idea.
It's a terrible idea. Don't do it.
And even though he always says that and doesn't do that, it is really a true statement.
Yeah.
It really is a true statement.
Yeah.
Don't go off-roading by yourself.
No.
It's really dumb.
I usually have, it's really dumb. Now, when I go off-road by myself, I always keep track of where the nearest person might be. Yeah. So, I mean.
And we've talked about that too. Like, you pretty much have gotten into a mindset that like, you are prepared to walk off the trail. If you're out by yourself, you are like, okay, if this goes wrong, I know I have to walk off this trail.
And I always have food and water with me. So if I got stranded out there, I usually have enough, and I always carry a sleeping bag and a tent. And so if I actually got stranded out in the middle of nowhere, I would probably be okay for a couple of days. And somebody would probably come along if need be.
Another great video where you did have to walk off the trail.
Oh,
is actually, what was it called?
I was in Arizona on, what was that trail? It's actually the thumbnail I used for this video. Crown, no, that wasn't Crown King. I can't remember the name of the trail. Anyways, yep, I drove off a cliff and the front of the FJ was hanging off the cliff, and I had to walk out a couple miles. It was good for me. I could use the exercise.
So David Morello wants to know, have you thought about going to a canister filter for your oil filter?
Canister, yes. I've actually done that. If you go back a couple videos, I show what I'm going to be using for an oil filter. It's up on top right over here, right over there, where the battery used to be. So go back a couple videos.
Isn't it there?
That's what I pointed to.
No,
oh, wait, no. Yeah, that's true. It's over there where the battery used to be. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got my left and right all mixed up. Yeah. Yep. The oil filter had to come down from the bottom and come up top because the axle would have hit it. And that's no good.
All right. Westrep 173. How many years did you work as a Chrysler tech?
As a Chrysler tech specifically?
We'll tell them both.
I think 5 or 6 years as a Chrysler tech specifically. And then
basically
10 or 11.
Yeah.
Somewhere there for as a technician, as a general technician, and then 6 as a Chrysler tech and a little bit as a Toyota. So
Quentin Smith asks, any plans for an FJ pickup? Like Eric's, I assume. Not this year.
Not this year. I've got plenty to get done. I need to get what I have on my plate done and then move on. So and if I rolled it over and I had to chop the top off, well then that's another story.
So Jared Stevens from Utah County wants to know if you'll do a fan ride later this year. I mean, every ride should be a fan ride.
Yeah. I want to make most of my rides a fan ride.
Yeah, I think with the Offroad Hub Facebook page, Ken will always be letting people know where he's going, and if anyone can join him, it's great.
Yeah,
it's great. There will never be a ride where he turns down anyone going along.
No, I definitely need people out there. So. Let's see. Any plans on a Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama trip? Yeah,
in the fall.
Yeah, I need to get out there. Probably in the fall, I'll head east and southeast, and see what I can do out there. I'm planning on going for Thanksgiving in Maryland. So
yeah, so the goal is to end up in Maryland for Thanksgiving. So prior to that, he'll be on the East Coast,
working my way
some trails
over there. So.
Great question. Can you give a summary of the plating you had to do?
Like underneath on the frame, I assume. So there's plating that goes on the front of the frame for the front coilovers and for the panhard bar up there. And then there's plating that needs to go basically anywhere where you weld anything on the frame. So the link brackets all need plating. Anytime you weld anything to the frame, you kind of need to plate the frame to reinforce the frame, because the frame is really, really thin metal. So thinner. And also I've been really surprised that the frame looks pretty flat on the sides and stuff, but there is not actually a flat spot on the frame, and there's holes and indentations everywhere. It's not a very fun surface to work with, to be honest.
Great question from Michael T. Have any power tools for the build failed or burned out during the build? Anything or just any tools that you've discovered you really don't like, or maybe you've just adjusted their use of in a better way?
Let's see. I did wear out a Sawzall that I've had for years. What brand was that? Ryobi. It was a Ryobi. So I replaced it with a top of the line Harbor Freight Sawzall, and that's been great. And I also have a top of the line. I buy the expensive stuff at Harbor Freight. The top of the line Harbor Freight 4.5-inch grinder. I've put a ton of miles on that thing, and it's held up like a champ. Other than that, I haven't really worn out any other tools.
Other tools that you've become, well, obviously more proficient at welding, but are there tools where you're like, oh, this was a way better switch to this tool than using? I feel like there was a video several videos ago where you switched something and we're like, I don't know, I was wasting time with this other thing. Maybe it was grinding versus cutting. Oh, it was probably the plasma cutter.
Oh, well, the plasma cutter has been a great tool for sure. Yeah.
Great question from Tony. I have the same question. Are you going to purchase me a Samurai or any other vehicle?
If Jeff Greenwood is still watching, he's getting the Samurai already for us. He's doing a lot of upgrades and stuff to it. So I'm just waiting for him to sink all of his money into that Samurai, and then we'll get it from him, because mods don't really add any value. Remember that, Jeff?
No, but we're always talking about a second off-road vehicle, something that I could drive or that Ken could drive and hopscotch with by himself.
Oh, that thought has crossed my mind. Myself, take 2 vehicles on a trail.
By yourself again.
By myself. So I'd drive one vehicle and then go get the other one and drive that one.
What are your from I don't know, Chow Gamali? I have no idea if I'm saying that right. What are your best tips, advice, and lessons learned when going to 35-inch tires, aside from body chop and a big hammer?
The lessons from going to 35s?
Yeah, tips, advice, and lessons.
I think 35-inch tires are the ideal tire size for the independent front suspension FJ Cruiser and probably other Toyotas. I think it's the ideal size because I don't think going to 37s yields much of a benefit, or at least they don't give you the benefit of the, I'm not saying this very well. The cost benefit ratio is not very good to go to 37. So I think 35s is the perfect size to go to, maximum size, without like going crazy, spending money on long travel suspension and stuff. Other than that, I mean, yeah, body mount chop, got to pound the inner fender, got to get that caster forward. But
I don't think I realized that the 35s really were a bit insufficient for your off-roading until you went to New Mexico and you were off-roading the Chili Challenge trails.
Yeah.
And that was the first time, just as I was watching the videos and then your follow-on in Texas, where I thought, wow, those wheels are really like
small.
It was not until that point did I think those wheels are insufficient for you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, 35s will get you just about anywhere, but I do a lot of pretty crazy trails that have a lot of obstacles and things and side trails that I've had to pass up. And I'll still pass things up. I'm not going to have a buggy. So I probably won't do many buggy trails. I'll probably, get tricked into doing one or two. But but there's a lot of things that I've had to pass up on trails because it was just not realistic. So that's kind of why I'm going bigger.
So that Mr. B1 with the ultimate question, what is the ETA on finishing the solid axle swap?
The ETA is ASAP. I answer your acronym with another acronym.
Well, let's give them the timeline. So we're gonna go on a little vacation next weekend for a week.
Yeah. So I'm finishing up the rear right now. I'm getting the coilovers mounted, and after that, then the rear will pretty much be done. And now that I've learned a lot from doing the rear, the front should go a little bit quicker. And so I really, trust me, I want to get this thing done really badly. I want to get this thing out of the garage and out on the trails. And there are some events that I want to go to that are coming up really soon. So believe me, nobody wants this thing done faster than I do.
Yeah.
But this stuff just takes a long time.
So follow-up question from Will. And Will, I think we off-roaded with you in Montana, right? You're an FJ guy. So he asks, what size tire can I fit with no lift? How big can he go?
With zero lift? I don't know.
33s?
Yeah. And fitting is kind of, when you go into 33s, they'll fit, but they might rub if you're off-road. It just depends on how much you take it off-road and then what you're tolerant, how much rubbing you can tolerate. So, I mean, I never got my 35s to not rub at all. They still rubbed some when I was doing really crazy stuff off-road. So fitting, do tires fit is kind of a whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Hello from Dominican Republic, from JMHDEZ. Hello. He just recently tagged you in some posts. He's going to be doing some welding on his new 3-link, and he's taking some hints.
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
Very good. Let's see, what questions have I missed here? I haven't been watching the questions very
I got them all. Do we have kids?
Oh, we do. We do have one child who is 18. He thinks he's an adult, but he's very much still a child. But he wouldn't admit to that. He
just moved the rest of his stuff out today, actually.
Yeah, and we helped him.
Yes.
So yeah, just one, and he moved out. So we're footloose and fancy free now.
Well, except for this pesky job of mine.
Well, there's that.
We're almost footloose and fancy free. If you guys will keep sharing and liking and commenting on the videos, then maybe I can retire from my job, and then we can really be footloose
Yeah,
and fancy free.
that's and that's ultimately what we really want to do, is to kind of just get out on the road and explore full time. So
From Von Whalen, are you still happy with your Metal Tech front bumper?
you mean this Metal Tech front bumper? Yes, I'm very happy with it. No complaints. I think it's perfect for what I want to do. Yeah, yeah. And they're not a sponsor. So, but I think it's a great bumper. I'm probably going to chop this nose off. This front bar comes out a little bit far, and I'll probably end up shortening that a little bit, just because you can see right here, I hit a rock with it. I drove it right into a rock down in Sand Hollow, and so can't have that. Got to chop it off. Chop it off.
All right. So Steve Green wants to know, what will be the shakedown trail?
Something close to home.
Will it be Shelly Rocks?
Yeah, we've got some lava rocks out here in eastern Idaho, and I'll go drive it on a trail out there. There's a video on Shelly Lava Rocks.
Yeah, you can check it out, what it looks like. There's big cracks.
Nothing too extreme, but there will be things that I can take it on and make sure it won't break. And after it passes that test, man, it depends on when I get done. I've got events that I really want to get to, the first of which is in the beginning of September in Colorado, the FJ Roundup.
Yeah.
That'll be pushing it, but I'm going to try.
Because you think you have about 3 weeks of work. You think.
If I didn't need to sleep and my 41-year-old self could jump up and down out of underneath the FJ 250 times without getting tired or sore, I could get it done in a few days, probably.
If anybody wants to come out and stay with us for a few days and help, we've got 2 guest bedrooms.
Yeah, if any of you want to come and assist me on this build, you can contact me on Facebook, on the Facebook group. I do have that, Offroad Hub on Facebook. Just thought I'd throw that out there. There's a lot of chat on there. Also, I have an email address, offroadhub, one word, .official@gmail.com. So you can email me that. We've got a spare bedroom, and we'll feed you food if you come and help.
And you get to be in videos.
And hey, you can be in videos with me
too. Great question. Are you going to work? This is from Nicholas Cooper. Are you going to work with someone experienced in tuning the coilovers after they're done?
Let's see. Probably after I get the FJ done, there's obviously going to be some fine tuning to do. So, but I want to get it done and usable, and then I'll tune it. I'll get things, kind of dialed in after that. But yeah, I will. I'm sure I'll be addressing my coilovers.
From David Morello, any thoughts on turbo or supercharge?
No, definitely not turbo. There is the supercharger out there for the 4-liter V6, which people have had pretty good luck with, but there's a cost involved that I'm not too interested in at this point. And also, it's just something else to go wrong. And the 4-liter V6 is going to have plenty of power. I'm mostly interested in going slowly over big rocks, not going fast over big rocks or going fast through the desert. Fast is not what I'm really going for with this build. Nice and as slow as possible. Speaking of slow, I will have about a 221-to-1 crawl ratio, so very slow.
So Jer Unrau asks, why don't we just have 2 FJs?
The thoughts crossed my mind, but FJs have gotten so expensive now. We've looked at a couple FJs just kind of half-heartedly. Of course, that's how we ended up with this FJ. We weren't planning on buying an FJ Cruiser, but
and honestly, if we got another FJ, I'd really want it for my daily driver, which is what this was supposed to be. So for an off-road vehicle, I think I just want something like hardier, more off-roady. Yeah.
So we have been considering getting Elizabeth something to drive off-road, and something, it would probably be something more rough and rough around the edges. We'll say that.
So Tony Guerrero asks, could you create a video talking about what gear you are in and when you use your lockers, or not based on the, when you use your lockers or not based on the trail condition? This would help us screen four-wheelers. Well, there's some basic principles about that we could just share right now. So
when I'm on a trail, whenever I'm on the trail, my tires are aired down, mostly for a smooth ride. If the trail's not, I always air down, even if the trail's not that difficult. And I always put it in 4 low. When I'm on a trail, I'm always in 4 low, just because there's no reason to have it in 4 high. And 4 low gives you so much more control. So anytime I'm on a trail, I am in 4 low 100% of the time, unless it turns into like a gravel road. But anything beyond a gravel road, I'm in 4 low. And then I leave A-track on all the time, and it works when it needs to work. It doesn't do anything when it doesn't need to do anything. So it's just an electronic device with the ABS. So I just leave it on all the time. And then I only use my lockers when I really need it. Yeah. When I'm coming up on a big, I'm not really into getting up on an obstacle and saying, I'm not going to use my lockers. Nah. When I'm coming up on an obstacle, I just turn on my rear locker at least before I get on the obstacle, because I'm not into spinning my wheels and breaking something. And then you turn it back off when you finish the obstacle. Immediately turn the lockers off, especially the front locker. Make sure that gets turned off right away. Yep. And you turn off. What are the other things you turn off? The airbags, and there's some other things you do when you're on a trail. Yeah, the FJ, I don't know about the earlier models, but there's the RSCA button off. That turns off your side curtain airbags. So when you get off camber, your airbags don't go off. That would be really disappointing. I pulled the yaw rate sensor out of this FJ. So what is that? That is the sensor that tells the airbags that the FJ is tipping over. So this will not have that sensor anymore. So I don't think the airbags will go off ever. Question from JMHDEZ. I'm running 35s on my 2007 FJ. Should I upgrade my rear axle shafts? Have you broken them? That would be my question. If you aren't breaking them with what you're doing, then probably don't need to upgrade them. I know that some people say the 8-inch is a little bit weak, but if you're not having any issue with it, I wouldn't worry about it. After you break it, then consider upgrading. Jeff says Glenn from Radflow is very helpful in tuning, FYI. I'll have to stop by, probably. And Hugo Bachknight asks, how's the AC working? I don't know. We haven't used it this summer yet. The AC in the FJ has always worked great, and I haven't touched the AC, so I think it'll work just fine after the build. Dr. Driver recommends that we get a CJ2A. Oh, yeah, that would be rough and tough, and no AC in that. Zola, hey, Zola, our dog's trying to run away. Anyways, a CJ, that would be cool. Maybe an old FJ, that would be really awesome. But a Samurai would be fun. They're really small, but that helps with them being fun. Nicholas Cooper says, did you read this? The buggy. He says his wife only feels safe in a buggy with no glass in it. She'd rather ride extreme trails in the buggy than easy trails in the stockish Tacoma. Huh. Yeah, no, buggies are cool. It would be really kind of fun to have a vehicle that you weren't even worried about rolling over. That would be a different experience. From Quentin, are there any issues you've anticipated having with the build being somewhat far from stock? When you are away from home, do you do your own repairs? I have done my own repairs away from home. I carry all the tools and spare parts that I need, and I anticipate that I will probably end up breaking something sometime. I'm planning on getting a welder that runs off 2 batteries. So if some weld breaks or something, I can stick it back together. But yeah, I always carry tools and stuff that I need. So. Great question. Is the A-Track going to work with all the modifications? No, A-Track will no longer be a thing. The ABS, the whole ABS system will be out the window. And I'm okay with that.
Steve Green, XJs are cheap, simple, and buildable.
That's true. Old Jeep Cherokee XJs, those are a great budget build.
Okay, so what spare parts do you keep on the FJ when you go out? Well, what we used to keep.
What I kept before were 2 inner and outer tie rod ends, and then 2 CV axles, and
Those were the big ones.
Yeah,
those are the things that kept breaking.
That's actually about it, because nothing else really breaks typically, or at least I never had anything break.
Well, we had the fuel line break.
That was a total fluke, though.
Yeah,
I had a stick just happened to get angled up and stab a fuel line once, but I mean, you can't carry fuel lines with you. I mean, you could, but.
So what do you think you'll carry with you now?
So after this build, I'll probably carry an extra link. I have enough link material to build extra links for the front and rear, so I'll probably build an extra link to carry, and then I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to get out there and break something. I'll let you know.
When are you going to rip some trails in the Ram? Well, let me tell you, where the places that he dispersed camps
in the
Dodge Ram,
in the Dodge camper, in the truck.
Yes.
Oh, that thing does not do very well off road. Not well at all, and it runs like it drives like a 1-ton truck. Bumpy. It's horrible. It's it's rear wheel drive, dually. So
it's great.
It's great for towing heavy stuff on pavement.
Yeah, I mean, I think we hit the limit basically when we pull up to a trailhead. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. How will I address the ABS lights on the dash after the solid axle swap? Electrical tape. I'll just have lights on.
Okay. He'll definitely put up a picture of it in FJ Cruiser Nation and ask people what they think.
I'll definitely post a picture on Facebook and say, "What's wrong?
Why am I seeing these lights? Is it going to be a long day? Do you run a catch can on the FJ? If not, I really recommend it, from Kevin Ramirez. A catch can.
I assume you mean oil catch can? I do not.
Back Mac in the house?
Send me a message on Facebook and tell me why I need to run a catch can.
Or just tell us here, Kevin.
Or tell us here. I don't really know. Let's see. Back Mac in the house.
That's also from Kevin.
Oh.
Okay, so a few reminders. So for the month of August, videos are going to be sporadic.
A little bit. Like I said before, not all of you were here in the beginning. Elizabeth has her big vacation for the year starting in August. So we're going to take a little bit of vacation time. But I'll still be working on the FJ and whatever.
And we'll be honest, Ken's a little bit burnt out on this build. I mean, he's been doing this literally 7 days a week.
It's in the garage, and when I come out in the garage and see it sitting here, I'm like, ugh.
And he loses about 2 days a week to editing.
Yeah.
And so he's been at this full time for months.
Yeah, a lot more months than I anticipated.
We're going to take a little bit of a break, and he estimates he's got about 3 to 4 weeks for this project to be finished.
Where I'm at now, things should progress fairly quickly. I've been doing a lot of things like plating on the frame and stuff that doesn't have a lot of visual payoff, but it should really start transforming here pretty quick.
Where's the vacation?
We're going to go spend a week on the Olympic Peninsula out in Washington, just kind of camping. We might do some side-by-sides. I don't know.
We're going to be hanging with some friends out there.
Yeah.
So we're excited. Yeah. Love the custom. Near the point of the your FJs. Okay, no question there. I saw the video on the headlights. Are the headlights LED or HID?
These headlights right here are actual HID. They have an actual HID bulb in them. I think they're pretty great.
Double check. It started raining. Is that really loud on the microphone?
Yes. We're sitting at an open garage, so the rain just started coming down. If you can hear the rain and it's covering up our audio, let us know.
If it's too crazy, well, Steve Green says no.
Okay.
Let's see. Hi, guys. Great job with everything. I'm running 35s. Do I need to re-gear? Is that mandatory for larger tires? on a 2012.
Nope, it is definitely not mandatory, but it sure is nice. It's one of those nice to haves for sure. You can use your cruise control on the freeway again after you regear, and you can go slower on the trails after you regear. So you definitely don't have to regear, but it's nice after you do.
Did you get the demon version of the headlights?
I don't know of any demon version. These are just from Nomad Retrofits. Yeah. It's a local company to me, and they're just white. They're not red, green, blue, so they're just basic HIDs.
Are you gonna do undercarriage lighting?
Some rock lights? Yeah, I got to do some rock lighting for sure. So, let's see here. Can't hear the rain. That's good.
Be sure, if you haven't already, go over to Offroad Hub over on Facebook. It's a Facebook group.
Yeah.
You can join the group. That'll be probably the best way to see where Ken is at when he does get back on the road.
Yeah,
hopefully by September.
Yeah.
Definitely by September.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll be the best way just to track where he's at. And as always, whenever Ken is on a trail, it's always better if someone's there with him. So people are always invited. He's not intending to be a solo driver by any means.
Come on wheel with me. Keep me safe. What are my favorite pizza toppings? Oh, man. Whew. Man, that's a tough question because I like basically everything on pizza. I'm not a picky eater. So I do like spicy pizzas. So like a jalapeno pineapple ham, like a spicy Hawaiian pizza. I know pineapple. I do eat that on pizza. Even things as far-fetched as artichoke and feta cheese. Anything. I love exotic pizzas.
All right. Quentin is really into this Dodge of ours. Are there any plans for mods on the Dodge?
On the truck?
Yeah.
No.
I'd like to get the air conditioning working this weekend before we head out of town.
Yeah, I gotta get the air conditioning working. That's the number one mod right there.
Dave Headblum says, September of what year? 2021, Dave. 2021. Keep the faith, my friend.
Wow. This is am I gonna carry a spare?
Yeah, good question.
I'm going to have a fifth tire with me, but not in the FJ. It'll stay in the truck, I think. So I have beadlock wheels so I can change it out if I need to. I'll just carry a spare tire with me in my travels.
Do you have axle shafts already in the new 1-tons?
Yes, I have new axle shafts. I've got chromoly from East Coast Gear Supply with 1550 U-joints for the front. And then the axle shafts for the rear, for the Sterling, are just factory shafts because the factory shafts, I guess, are pretty tough. Nobody really makes an aftermarket shaft for them. And I've read that that's just because they don't really need them because they're really strong. But it's really raining. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. Now, Eric E. Pineapple it's okay. It's all right to have on pizza. It's all right. Let's see. Ken looks like he's lost weight even with eating all the different pizza parts. Well, eating pizza has not made me lose any weight. I've lost a little bit of weight, but not a ton.
Your weight is really a point of public opinion in the YouTube world.
I've got to close the garage door.
Oh, it's going to get really dark right in front of us.
No, look at light.
Oh, yeah, I guess the light from up there comes out. Different lighting.
There we go. All right. There we go. The rain was starting to come in and getting on our computer, and that's not good for electronics. Oh, now we got a glare. I've got these new bright lights here in the garage. I'll cover that up. There we go. I'll just hold my hand like this. All right, guys. Well,
asks about Supercharger again.
Supercharger. I'm not going to do Supercharger just because I don't think it'll be necessary. Yes, I do really like these lights. Chili Challenge. That's in late October. I'll definitely be there. No doubt about that. All right, guys. Well, it's been 40 minutes. That's probably a good number to cut this off at.
Any plans for a cage, harnesses, and seats? Well, we've got seats.
We've got seats. We don't need any more of those. And a cage, maybe next year.
What you have said in the past is that you'll put a cage in after you roll it.
Yeah, if I roll it, I'll put a cage in it. Anyways, thanks for joining me this evening, guys, and thanks for joining us this evening. Thanks for following along and being patient with the build here. It's taken a long time, but I'm just going to keep plugging away, and eventually it's going to be totally awesome. Go check out the Facebook group.
Offroad Hub.
It's just called Offroad Hub on Facebook. Check that out and join me there so I can kind of give you minute by minute updates. I take pictures of what I'm doing out here in the garage.
And as always, like and comment and share videos from Offroad Hub YouTube channel. It does really help. When YouTubers say that, there's a reason for that.
Definitely. It really helps. So I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time.